Boom, bang, kapow. Today we are going to be learning all about onomatopoeia. Maybe you've heard of it before, maybe you've talked about it in school, or maybe you've read some onomatopoeia in comics or other books. Let's have a look at what it is. So, what is onomatopoeia? Onomatopoeia is when a word describes a sound and actually mimics the sound or the object or action it refers to when it is spoken. And as you can see, here's a good example of bang. So, we've learned that onomatopoeia is a sound. So, sometimes when you hear a sound, you might be thinking, how do I spell that? Well, trying to do that is onomatopoeia. When is onomatopoeia used? Onomatopoeia is used in descriptive writing when referring to sounds. It is most famously used in comic books. Do any of these examples look familiar to you guys? So, you might be thinking, yes, I've heard of onomatopoeia before, but how do I do some of my own? Well, think of yourself walking through mud whilst wearing boots. What noise do your feet make? Just close your eyes and think of it. You're marching through lots of sticky, slimy mud. What noise are your muddy boots making? Probably a squelch, squelch, squelch sound. What do you think? Well, that squelch sound is actually an example of onomatopoeia. These are some pictures so you can visualize what the sound would be like, and then underneath is the onomatopoeia word of what those sounds are. So the first one, we have a cat going ah, that's onomatopoeia. Then we have a drop of water splashing into some other water. The splash, that's the onomatopoeia. And then we have kaboom, of something exploding. So the reason why the words are written this way is because that's the best way we can write how those words actually sound. Right, let's talk about animals in onomatopoeia. When describing the sounds that animals make, we often use onomatopoeia. For example, owls go hoot, hoot. We've said they go hoot because that's actually what the sound sounds like. We say that a cat goes meow, and it's written as the word meow because it sounds like meow. And then dogs go woof, woof. And again, it's because that's how the sound is actually written. This is because the words actually sound like the noises they are making. Okay, listen to these sounds and see if you can figure out what onomatopoeia you would write for what the noises are. Okay, now it is activity time. You are going to be coming up with some onomatopoeia words for every single letter of the alphabet. Here are some examples for you guys. A, you could have ah, screamed the man. B, you could have bzz, the bee buzzed by. C, crunch went the leaves as I walked over them. So there are 3 examples that you have. Up on the screen now are all the letters of the alphabet. I'm sure you already know all these letters, but I've put them up anyway. I want you to write each letter down and see if you can come up with an onomatopoeia and a little bit of a sentence for every single letter. Okay, hopefully you pause the video there and you've come up with some onomatopoeia and some little sentences for each letter. That was your warm-up activity, and now for the big activity. You are going to be drawing a page or a segment from a comic book. It could be about anything that you'd like. Here is an example of onomatopoeia being used in a comic. This one is just black and white. You could do black and white, or you could do lots of colors as well. It doesn't matter what the drawing is about as long as you are using some onomatopoeia in that drawing. And make sure that the drawing and the onomatopoeia make sense. As in this example of the man breaking through the door, the onomatopoeia word wouldn't really be meow. Well, it might be, but I'm not sure if that really makes sense. So, You guys have fun with that. Make sure you do all the letters of the alphabet. Then you can move on to drawing your comic book picture with your onomatopoeia word. Down below you can find links to other videos or websites explaining a little bit more about onomatopoeia. And remember, I've got lots of other videos that you can use for your distance learning or learning from home. And I'll see you guys very soon.